Hello everyone, Charles Watts here, the Arsenal correspondent at Goal, joining you on a cold, snowy and icy Monday morning, but a Monday morning that sees Arsenal out of the top four on goal difference only. Would you believe it? That is the state of the Premier League table right now, following West Ham's defeat at Manchester City yesterday, and of course Arsenal's 2-0 win against Newcastle on Saturday. So Arsenal 5th in the Premier League, West Ham above them only on goal difference. What a remarkable turnaround that has been since the start of the season. Fair play to Mikel Arteta and his players. I don't think any of us would have said that, would they, after the Manchester City defeat a couple of months ago, when Arsenal were bottom of the table after 3 games, no wins, no goals, 9 goals conceded. It was looking pretty miserable, wasn't it? But it's looking a lot better now, which is good to see. Obviously, there's a long way to go, and Arsenal are far from the finished article. We know that. We saw that at Anfield only a couple of weeks ago when Liverpool gave everyone a very big indicator of just how far off the very top sides Arsenal are. But as I said, in my view anyway, after that Liverpool game, the Newcastle game was far more important than Liverpool, because in my thinking anyway, Arsenal aren't as good as Liverpool. They're not as good as Chelsea. They're not as good as Manchester City. They're going to struggle against those teams. I don't want them to lose 4-0 every time, but they're going to struggle. They're just games that at the moment, when Arsenal go to Anfield, I think they're going to lose. But if they can win the other games, then they're going to give themselves a really good chance, certainly on improving on what they've done the last couple of seasons, and possibly, given the way certainly Manchester United are struggling at the moment, of getting in the top 4. Now, I started this season saying there's no chance Arsenal are going to get in the top 4. It wasn't even on the agenda for me. I just wanted Arsenal to maybe get themselves 6th, improve on the last couple of seasons, show some progress, get themselves back into Europe, and then go from there next season. But now you've got to say, given the way the results are going, given the struggles Manchester United have had, the top 4, there is a chance. There's a slight chance. I don't want to get carried away. But Arsenal, if they can continue to play well, they can continue to pick up points, they can continue not to concede many goals, which take the Liverpool disaster out of it. They're not conceding many goals. Another clean sheet on Saturday, albeit against a terrible Newcastle side. Then the top 4, it is possible. I think the next few games going into Manchester City on New Year's Day, I think Arsenal's next games, you've got United away, Everton away, Southampton home, West Ham home, Leeds away, Norwich away, Wolves home. I think after that batch of games, those 7, when we get to January, we're going to really know what Arsenal could possibly do this season, because look, United, for all their struggles this season, a trip to Old Trafford is never easy. Everton on a Monday night. Everton have been rubbish recently, but still, it's Goodison midweek under the lights. Well, not midweek, Monday night under the lights. It's not an easy game. They're the type of games that we all know Arsenal can go and lose. We've seen it before. But if they can, they can get themselves a point at Manchester United. If they can go and win it, Goodison on the Monday night, and then you've got the 2 home games against Southampton and, more importantly, West Ham, which is your top 4 rival at the moment. They could put themselves in a really, really good position. And once they get into the new year, they've got quite a nice run of games coming up. So I think this patch now, December, is going to be really, really important for Arsenal and their top 4 chances. I think that they can get through these games, get to the Man City game. Look, we know that's going to be tough on New Year's Day. Man City always just destroy Arsenal. There's not much more we can say about it. It just happens time and time again, home and away. But if they can get to that game and they can get a decent haul out of these seven games, you've got to look at it. United, you can do something against them. Obviously, we'll wait and see if Ralf Rangnick will be in charge for that game, or if, more importantly, he'll be at the game. We think he will be appointed by them, but we're not sure if he'll have the work permit to actually be there. If he's not, and then you don't have that first manager bounce type thing, you've got to think Arsenal got a chance of going up there, confident mood of getting something done. Everton away, not in the best form, if they can get something there. And then you've got Southampton at home, West Ham home. Leeds aren't in great form. Norwich on Boxing Day, Norwich they've certainly improved and picked up a few results, but you think you'd want Arsenal to go to Norwich and win on Boxing Day. And then Wolves at home, who again have had a good run of form since the difficult start, kind of similar to Arsenal. I think they're only 3 points behind Arsenal at the moment. But they're not. It's not the worst run of fixtures. They're tricky games there, but they're not the worst run of fixtures. And it gives Arsenal a real good opportunity. If they can really nail December, and then they are going to have a hell of a chance maybe of really pushing for a top 4 spot in the second half of the season, which at the start of this season, I wouldn't even have mentioned it. There's no way I'd even thought I'd be sitting here now in December talking about Arsenal having a chance at top 4, because I just thought it was a close shot. I thought Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea especially were just done and dusted out of sight. And I thought Manchester United would certainly be a lot better than they are this season, given they finished second last season. But obviously they've had a mare. Let's face it. And that has given certainly other clubs an opportunity. Now West Ham have done really well this season, but still, Arsenal can finish above West Ham. You would think they can finish above West Ham, even though West Ham are playing well. Like I said, Wolves are improving, but Arsenal can finish above Wolves. Tottenham, I don't fancy Tottenham to get top 4 this season, even with Conte, even if they get a couple of players in January. I just think that squad's a bit of a mess at the moment. So Arsenal have given themselves a chance. And this is what Mikel had to say when he was asked after the game on Saturday about, whether Arsenal could make top 4. He said, we go game by game after the defeat at Anfield. Obviously, you see things in a different perspective maybe, but we've been on a good run and we have carried that on now, and let's see where it takes us. Now we need to analyse this game and start to prepare again against Manchester United as quick as possible, because we don't have many days. And he's right, and it is always such a boring phrase, isn't it, go game by game, but it absolutely is. And I think certainly the position that Arsenal are in, it is just about doing that now, because it's such a young team, or the youngest team in the Premier League, and it's just about sort of getting them switched on and focused for the next game. Don't start thinking about top 4. Don't start thinking about Europe. Just concentrate on the next game. You don't have to worry about midweek fixtures really at the moment, because you're not in Europe, and so you can just, as soon as the game against Newcastle finish on Saturday, focus straight on Manchester United. This run's going to be interesting because it is the first time this season that maybe Arteta's going to have to rotate. I spoke about that before the Newcastle game, because there are a few games coming up, and we've got the whole festive period, which is always busy in England. And obviously we've got Man United Thursday, Everton Monday. So there are games coming up now where Mikel might have to change things up a little bit, and that might kill momentum a little bit. It might knock momentum a little bit, because he's been very used to just playing pretty much the same team, let's face it, week in, week out now, because he's able to do that without European football. So I think it's going to be really important. But I thought, there's just good signs. I'm enjoying watching this Arsenal team. They're not playing the best of football. The first half they weren't great against Newcastle, but still they've just got something about them, this team, at the moment, I think. And I just like, for the first time in a long time really, I like an Arsenal team. And I'm talking about this, I'm sort of got my fan hat on at the moment. It's like, when was the last time you'd really be gutted if Arsenal lost a player, or if a player left? Like, I'd have been I think Santi Cazorla, other than, or maybe Aaron Ramsey, because I had a big soft spot for Aaron Ramsey, but certainly Santi Cazorla. But other than that, in the last 10 years, when players gone, it's just like, yeah, whatever, see you later. Back in the day, you'd have obviously Henry, Vieira, that lot. It was just devastating when they left. Even Cesc, it was awful. But this, for the last 10 years or so, it's just been like, oh, whatever, see you later. It's just no real affection towards the players. But this team, Bukayo Saka, Emil Smith-Rowe, love them. Hale M boys, love them. Kieran Tierney, I know he's not playing at the moment, love him. Aaron Ramsdale, what's not to love about Aaron Ramsdale? There's just something about this team that makes me like them and enjoy watching them and hoping they do well, even more so than normal. And that's a good thing. That's what you want as a fan, isn't it? And again, I'm talking with my fan hat on here, not my journalist hat on, but it's just something about this team which makes me like them. And it'd be great if they could go on and get themselves top 4 this season. But look, let's not get carried away. Let's just concentrate and see how things go. But certainly good signs, and I was really impressed with the way they bounced back from that Liverpool defeat on Saturday, because Newcastle was a really big game for me, and it was a game they could have slipped up in, but they didn't. They got the job done. They stayed patient even after a pretty disappointing first half, and I thought they were good in the second half. And you look at Sambi, Lokonga, and Nuno Tavares, and this is what I'm talking about when I talk about players I actually really like it at the moment. And I just think the summer transfer market, the summer transfer shopping was really, really smart by Arsenal. When you look at these two players, they really struggled in the second half at Anfield. I thought they might be taken out of the game on Saturday and just given a bit of a breather, because for two young players, what happened at Anfield, it was a struggle. They both made mistakes. Liverpool were all over them, and you thought confidence wise they might be a bit low, but Arteta stuck with them, and he was absolutely rewarded for that. And they both were excellent. I mean, Sambi, I thought, was man of the match. So he was excellent in midfield. He bossed it in terms of passing. I think it was most passes, most successful passes, most passes in the opposition half, most key passes. It was just a fantastic performance from him. Everything good that Arsenal did was through Sambi on Saturday. And Nuno, although first half he was a bit frustrating in terms of his decision making, which you're going to get as a young player, and I actually thought he might get hooked at half time, because Arteta, you could see, was getting really wound up every time he was taking a shot from 30 yards that was going high and wide. But the way he responded in the second half, the way he played, it was just really, really impressive. And I think the two of them just sum up the good, smart business Arsenal did in the transfer window and how much they've improved this squad. And you kind of look at last season, if Tierney was injured or not playing, as he's not at the moment, you'd have had to play Granit Xhaka left back, you'd have had to play Siad Kolasinac left back. But now you can bring in Nuno Tavares, and it's great. And if, at the moment, Granit Xhaka's out, last year you'd have brought in El Neni or someone like that, but now you bring in Sambi, and just really smart transfer business that has improved the squad and has given Arsenal more of a chance of, get themselves back into the top 4 this season. So fair play to Edu, to Arteta, to everyone involved in the recruitment in the summer, because it's certainly proven to be very good business. Okay, a couple of things before I go. Martinelli, great to see him scoring that goal. What a goal it was on Saturday. Big moment for him. Arteta clearly delighted. Martinelli saw in his interview, was delighted. He said, I need to be patient as always. If I play 10 minutes, 20 minutes, I have to play well and be ready. I love the fans. I'm happy to be here playing for this club, and I'm very happy that I could help to get this victory. Great to see. I mean, look, the way Orba's playing at the moment, and Orba is playing poorly, there's no doubt about it. He's costing Arsenal at the moment with his lack of confidence. Should have scored at the weekend. Should have scored against Watford in the game before the trip to Anfield. Robbed Odegaard of a goal because he's so desperate to get himself a goal because of his confidence in that game. And he's beginning to cost Arsenal a little bit. And so you've got to think that Mikel must be thinking, and do I need to take Orba out for a little bit because he's struggling for goals, he's not scoring, and that's having an impact. I mean, Arsenal should have been 1-0 up in the first half of the weekend. You can't be missing a chance like that. So you do wonder what he's going to do with Orba. I think Orba still plays against Man United. I'll be surprised if he makes a change then. But if he struggles again at Old Trafford, then you've got to start thinking someone like Martinelli might get a look in. You think Lacazette would be ahead of him in the pecking order for the central striker role, but certainly Martinelli's getting himself a goal, which was really important, his first of the season, might put himself more in Mikel's plans. I thought it was interesting that when Saka went off injured, it wasn't Pepe that came on, it was Martinelli, which I think says a bit for where Pepe is right now in terms of the pecking order at Arsenal. But it's also, I'm sure, a confidence boost to Martinelli that he got himself. He was the man that Arteta turned to when Saka got injured, and he got a good half an hour of football, which we haven't really seen. I think he played 15 minutes in the Premier League up to that point. So that's good for Martinelli. It was a big moment for him, I thought, and hopefully it's a moment that's kind of really kick-starts his season. I mean, Mikel said, look, it's a big moment for him, and I'm really happy because of how he behaves. Some players are respectful when you make decisions, and some players are very respectful, like he is. He's patient, but at the same time, he's really pushing and challenging and makes every decision that you make even harder because he deserves more. I'm really pleased the way he helped the team. So that's nice for Martinelli, and you'd certainly think it'd be a real big confidence boost for him getting that goal, and especially a goal of that quality as well, because that was one hell of a finish from Martinelli. Great ball from Tomiyasu as well, who's fantastic again. Love Tomiyasu. Again, smart transfer business in the summer. That transfer window really is shaping up to be one hell of a transfer window for Arsenal when you factor in Aaron Ramsdale as well. The one player who's sort of disappointing a little bit out of the signings that they made in the summer was Martin Odegaard, and he was the one he thought was absolutely ready to hit the ground running because of his loan spell last season. Finally, before I go, in terms of Bukayo Saka's injury, I've had plenty of you asking what the latest on that. We have to wait and see. There's nothing definitive yet. I think he's going to be having a scan today on that injury. Mikel's saying he just felt something wasn't comfortable. Continue. We'll have to assess him. He felt something muscular. You'd have to think he's a big doubt for the Manchester United game if it is something muscular. Even if he came off as a precaution, the turnaround before the Man United game on Thursday might be difficult. So you'd think he's a doubt. Certainly not going to rule him out just yet. We'll have to wait and see. Hopefully, if the scan, your fingers crossed, the scan won't show anything, because we need Bukayo Saka fit. Absolutely, we don't want to lose him, especially when the games are starting to come thick and fast. You want Saka available. We showed with the way he took his goal, what a great goal that was on Saturday as well, that how important he is. And I thought he played really well, Bukayo Saka, actually, before he went off for that injury. So fingers crossed with him. But if I do hear any news, please do check out my social media, because I will put it on there as soon as I have something. All right, everyone, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a good start to the week. Go out there, build yourself a snowman. Careful, though. I just did the school run this morning. It was an absolute nightmare. Nearly broke all my bones going down there, and my kids running off trying to stop them sliding on the ice. Nightmare. Anyway, enough about that. Have a good day, everyone. Speak to you soon.